Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Usually, we're dissecting a finished work, really pulling apart its narrative threads or maybe exploring its impact.
Right.
But today, we're doing something a little different, something perhaps even more revealing.
Oh.
We're pulling back the curtain on the creative process itself. Specifically that, exhilarating, often bewildering, very first step, writing an inaugural script.
Ah, the beginning.
Exactly. It's going to be an honest, insightful, and let's be real, probably a little humorous look at those early creative attempts.
And what's truly profound about those first scripts, those foundational moments, is their raw energy, their unfiltered ideas.
Yeah.
They reveal so much about the budding artist. I mean, every expert, every accomplished storyteller you admire, they started somewhere with a blank page and an idea, just like a first pancake is often lumpy or a bit burnt, right?
Okay.
But absolutely necessary to get to the good ones. These early works, though often unpolished, hold profound lessons. It's like creative archaeology, digging into the origins of a unique voice.
I love that first pancake analogy. Mine was probably, a stack of pancakes with like 20 toppings.
Oh, wow.
Ambitious, definitely messy, and maybe just a little too much.
Oh, it's familiar.
And speaking of ambitious and messy, our source material for this deep dive is truly special. We're looking at the inaugural script, which is a self-reflection from the author Jason Wright.
Okay.
And it comes with excerpts from his screenplay, Buster and Kilo: The Road Home.
Right.
Now, this isn't just a first script, it's his very first script. Written when he was, and this is his own words, young and naive, genuinely believing it was a full-length film right at the very beginning of his creative journey.
It's a wonderful testament to that sort of unbridled optimism, isn't it?
Totally.
That boundless imagination that so often characterizes a creative's initial foray. There's a purity to it,
Yeah.
an absence of the self-doubt or, the learned constraints that often come later. It's creativity in its rawest form.
So our mission today isn't just to read a script. We're going to use Buster and Kilo as a kind of case study.
Okay.
We'll explore the ambition, the inevitable learning curve, and those common traps, but also some surprising wins.
Always good to find the wins.
Exactly. Things inherent in a first-time creative endeavor. Think of it as a blueprint for anyone who's ever dared to put their first words on paper or, their first brushstroke on canvas.
And that's precisely why this deep dive is so relevant for you, our listener. If you've ever harbored a dream of starting a big project, maybe it's a novel, a business, even just a new hobby, the journey of Buster and Kilo offers a mirror.
Yeah.
It reflects those initial surges of creativity and the universal challenges of bringing an idea to life. It's a reminder that every grand adventure begins with a single, often imperfect step.
So let's dive into the heart of it then. Buster and Kilo: The Road Home. It's the story of Buster, who's a domestic house dog. Now, Buster isn't content with just his backyard. He yearns for adventure, for, more than the mundane routine.
The classic setup.
And boy, does he get more than he bargained for. He gets captured. He teams up with this really quick-witted ferret named Kilo.
A ferret. Okay. Interesting pairing.
Right. And together, they embark on this wild, chaotic journey to escape confinement and find their way back home.
So what's immediately relatable here, I think, is how the premise taps into those classic adventure tropes.
Yeah.
You've got a hero, Buster, who feels constrained by his comfortable life, longs for the unknown.
Exactly.
That universal desire for more immediately establishes an emotional connection. It makes his journey inherently engaging.
Definitely.
And that buddy cop dynamic almost with Kilo, the quick-witted sidekick, that promises a compelling and, probably humorous partnership right from the start.
Absolutely, and that's just the first act. So today, we're walking you through Buster and Kilo, not just as a story, but as this case study. What happens when raw creativity, boundless ambition, and, a healthy dash of youthful exuberance collide in that very first script? We'll identify those common pitfalls that almost all beginner writers face. But we'll also celebrate the genuine sparks of genius, those moments that hint at the talent to come.
Good.
Ultimately, we want to extract lessons applicable to any beginner's journey, proving that the first step, no matter how wobbly, is always the most important.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this opening. Our script starts big.
How big?
Like, not in the backyard, but literal space.
Space for a dog story.
Yeah. Alien spaceships, spacemen fixing space stations, a 747 airplane. Then it zooms in.
Wow.
It's a monumental, almost cosmic introduction for what ultimately becomes a story about a house dog, This immediate, almost disorienting jump in scale. It's one of the most striking aspects of, well, a first-time writer's uninhibited imagination.
A key observation here, I think, is the sheer ambition behind starting so broadly. This isn't just, a lack of discipline. It's often this beautiful, unbridled enthusiasm.
Yeah.
A first-time writer is just bursting with ideas. Oh, this is funny, this is cool, this is dramatic. And they haven't yet learned the art of, killing your darlings. Every spark feels utterly essential. The idea of cutting something that brings them joy can feel, alien.
Cool.
It's a testament to pure creative energy, but also a crucial early lesson in refinement. The writer is trying to establish this grand world before narrowing it, almost like they're saying, look, this story is part of something huge.
And the way it narrows down is equally ambitious. Meticulous, even.
Okay.
From that huge cosmic view, the camera follows a single blue butterfly.
A butterfly.
Guiding us from the vastness of space through the atmosphere, over the USA, past all these grand elements,
Wow.
and finally into Timmy's neighborhood and backyard. The script even details the camera spinning out of control and landing perfectly 3 feet from Buster's doghouse.
Okay, that's specific.
It's an incredibly detailed visual journey.
This leads us to consider, is this incredibly detailed visual journey, the butterfly's journey, is it effective in grounding the story?
Right.
Or does it feel like a detour, almost a short film within itself before we get to the main plot?
Yeah, a little bit.
While it's visually imaginative, the contrast between this epic cinematic scope and the intimate domestic setting it eventually lands on, it's quite stark. It's a bold choice. It shows a writer's enthusiasm for visual storytelling, definitely, but maybe not yet a mastery of narrative efficiency.
Good point.
It's like the writer wanted to make sure everyone knew how big the world was before we even met our protagonist. It's an interesting example of maybe over-explanation for a first-timer. They want to show everything.
So after all that cosmic grandeur and the butterfly's meticulous trip,
Yes.
we finally meet Buster. We see his doghouse, white wood, shingle roof, a tetherball, a few toys, perfectly typical suburban dog's life. Then Timmy, a young preteen boy, runs into the shot, and they immediately start playing fetch. It's playful, very ordinary, a clear anchor in the familiar after that extraordinary opening.
That contrast is quite effective in its own way, though.
You think so?
Yeah, after the wide, almost abstract opening, we're immediately pulled into this concrete, relatable reality.
Okay.
This familiar image, a boy and his dog playing fetch, it provides an anchor, a sense of normalcy that the vast opening might have threatened to erase. It lets the audience settle into the heart of the story. The boy and his dog.
Okay, that makes sense. And then Buster immediately shifts into his internal monologue, directly addressing you, the audience.
Oh, right away.
Right away. He says, that's my owner. His name is Timmy. We've been together since I was born. Oh, yeah, if you haven't guessed it, yep, I'm the dog, and my name is Buster. What's your take on that, breaking the fourth wall immediately?
Well, a key observation here is that narrative choice, the talking animal speaking directly to the audience, it immediately connects it to common techniques, things we see in animated films or children's literature.
Sure.
But it's also a really effective way to quickly establish character and provide exposition in a screenplay.
Yeah.
Especially for a protagonist who, physically can't speak in a traditional sense.
Right.
It lets us understand Buster's personality and his relationship with Timmy without needing complex visual cues or interactions. It's very direct, very uninhibited, a way to get right into his head, showing that beginner writers' eagerness to connect the audience to their hero.
They keep playing fetch, their routine, until the sun goes down. And it ends with Timmy's sweet line, "Good night, Buster. You're my best friend." Buster then goes to lay down in his doghouse. The scene ends quietly, domestically. Setting a peaceful, established tone, it really provides a strong, clear baseline of his current comfortable life. Almost a contrast to the cosmic intro, like you said.
And that domesticity, that sense of an established routine, that's precisely what makes the subsequent desire for adventure so potent.
Wow.
You understand what Buster is leaving behind, the comfort he's sacrificing. This quiet end to the first day is crucial for setting up that call to adventure that is clearly about to follow. It gives us a baseline of Buster's world before it's completely upended, making his yearning feel earned.
Right. Okay, so day 2 opens, and Buster is still in his doghouse. He wakes up to the faint sound of Timmy's alarm, his mother calling. His internal monologue immediately reveals his boredom. He says, well, what you see is what you get. Nothing exciting here. I just lay here all day and wait for Timmy. Then I eat and he plays with me like it's been for years.
Oh.
He even lays his head down with a sigh. It's a classic setup, isn't it?
It absolutely is. This is the classic call to adventure moment, a universal narrative trope. Think Luke Skywalker wanting off Tatooine or
Yeah, exactly.
or Frodo Baggins embarking on his quest. It's that relatable feeling of wanting more from a seemingly comfortable but ultimately unfulfilling existence. Even for a house dog, that yearning for excitement beyond the familiar fence resonates deeply because it taps into our own desires for growth and change. It's a very effective way to quickly establish Buster's core motivation, and that's definitely a strength of this early script.
And then, almost abruptly, Buster's mood shifts. He gets excited. He declares, man, there just has to be more out there, more than this. I want more excitement. Today it's time for a change. I'm going to see what else is out there beyond the fence. It's a very clear, very sudden decision.
Yeah, analyzing that sudden decision point, the clarity of his objective, it's a clear turning point, a declaration of intent, which is absolutely crucial for character motivation in any story. He articulates his desire explicitly, leaving no ambiguity for the audience.
Sure.
This kind of decisive moment propels the narrative forward. It makes it clear Buster is no longer passive, but an active participant in his own destiny. It's a classic, straightforward way to kick off the main plot, showing the writer's grasp of foundational story beats.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, or maybe a bit baffling. For a first-time writer,
Okay.
Day 3 plunges directly into Buster waking up after being knocked out in an alleyway.
Knocked out.
Yeah. The script completely skips the actual escape from Timmy's yard.
Wow, okay.
There's no build-up, no fence jumping, no digging under. He's just out. It feels like a significant jump, doesn't it?
This is a fascinating narrative choice.
Yeah.
Skipping what's usually the inciting incident of escape,
Right.
one might ask. Was it intentional? A stylistic choice, maybe, to convey the immediate disorienting shock of freedom? Or does it reflect a beginner writer's eagerness to get to the good stuff, the adventure, the consequences, without dwelling on the mechanics of getting there?
Could be.
The impact on pacing is immediate. We're thrust into the adventure without seeing the catalyst. While it certainly creates an immediate sense of consequence, it also leaves a gap in the viewer's understanding of how Buster achieved his initial objective. Sometimes, for a first-timer, the how of a transition is just less interesting than the what of the new situation.
Right. Regardless of how he got there, Buster's declaration is immediate and joyous. Freedom, 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 man, I could get used to this. As he walks down the alley, heading towards downtown, he's immediately celebrating his newfound liberty, seemingly oblivious to how he got knocked out.
That immediate joy and celebration are crucial, though, for establishing Buster's character and his drive.
Yeah.
Even without seeing the escape, his exultant reaction reinforces his desire for adventure and freedom. It validates his earlier internal monologue.
True.
It shows us that for him, the excitement has already begun, even if it started with a bump on the head. It's a very clear emotional beat that sets the stage for his journey into the unknown.
So Buster, free and happy, quickly discovers a dumpster behind a place called Presto Burger.
Presto Burger, okay.
He playfully explores it, finds jackpot, food, obviously. He climbs in, throws trash in the air, even makes trash angels.
Trash angels, that's vivid.
An innocent, almost childlike exploration of his new environment. Really highlights his naive nature.
Yeah, this highlights Buster's innocent, playful nature and his somewhat naive view of the excitement he was looking for.
Right.
He's finding joy in the simple, chaotic pleasure of a dumpster, which quickly characterizes him as this good-hearted, if somewhat guileless protagonist. It's a charming moment. It underscores his journey from domesticity to the wild, even if the wild is just a burger dumpster. It shows the writer's capacity for creating these endearing character moments.
And then his playful romp is suddenly interrupted by the appearance of Spike, Sparky, and Shark, the Bloodhounds.
The Bloodhounds, okay, sounds serious.
Their confrontational dialogue immediately sets a darker tone.
Whoa, well, look what we have here, boys. We got us a house dog who thinks he can just come and trash our turf. It's a really abrupt shift.
It is. This is a classic example of introducing a clear antagonist group almost immediately.
Yeah.
Stepping back, the broader implication is that this rapidly escalates the stakes for Buster. He's moved from playful freedom to immediate danger.
Instantly.
And it also introduces one of the first common traps of a beginner script. Potentially overstuffing with characters or conflicts too early on.
Right.
We've just met Buster, really, and already he's facing a street gang, which is a lot for an audience to take in. in quick succession. It speaks to a beginner's desire to keep the tension constantly high.
Buster's response is exactly what you'd expect. He's innocent, apologizes, explains he's new, just wanted excitement.
Ah, poor Buster.
Spike, of course, isn't having it. He gets aggressive, threatens to pulverize Buster, only to be cut off mid-word by the screeching of a truck.
Oh, okay. Deus Ex Machina, truck edition. Kind of. That rapid shift, innocent moment, serious threat, sudden interruption again. It highlights the pacing challenges in a first script. The Bloodhounds are set up as this formidable threat, only to be abruptly dispatched almost, which can lessen their impact later, maybe?
It can, yeah. It almost feels like the writer had a cool idea for an antagonist, introduced them, and then needed to quickly get to the next plot point, using an outside force, the truck, to resolve the immediate conflict.
And before Buster can even process what's happening, Mo, the animal control officer, gets out of his big box truck, pulls out his net, and swoops up Buster. "Gotcha now, you mutt," he exclaims. It's incredibly swift, almost too quick after the Bloodhounds thing.
The swiftness of the capture is, well, it's effective for plot progression, and again, it points to that rapid pacing.
Yeah.
It fulfills Buster's desire for excitement, but in a terrifying and immediate way. He literally gets more than he bargained for. It's an effective plot point to move him into the next phase of his journey, absolutely. But it happens so quickly after the first threat, leaving little room for the audience to dwell on Buster's emotional state or the implications of his first encounter with danger. It's like a beginner writer is constantly thinking, okay, what's next? How can I keep things moving?
But wait, there's more.
Oh, no.
As Mo puts Buster into a cage in his truck, the camera pans out and down to reveal a small green caterpillar crawling off the curb under the truck.
A caterpillar. Now.
It narrowly avoids being run over, squeezes between the tire treads, then waves its little arm and screams, "Slow down, you menace."
It screams.
Yeah. This completely out-of-left-field moment adds another layer of something.
Okay, wow. A key observation here is the sudden appearance of a talking caterpillar, completely unrelated to the main plot.
Totally unrelated.
Adding this element of surreal humor and introducing another distinct, highly anthropomorphic character. This just exemplifies the overstuffing with too many characters or gags trap.
Big time.
A writer, especially a first-timer, might include every fun, imaginative idea they have without fully integrating it into the main narrative. It's a charming, unexpected moment, sure, but it definitely pulls focus from Buster's harrowing capture. For a beginner, sometimes that initial spark of an idea, like a talking caterpillar, is just too good to leave out, even if it momentarily sends your plot off-roading.
Exactly. This moment adds a distinct, almost cartoonish layer of inconsistent tone to the rapidly unfolding trauma of Buster's capture. We go from a serious threat to slapstick almost instantly. It creates a kind of tonal whiplash for the audience.
Definitely.
So the scene then shifts to Timmy's backyard. This is day 4. He's desperately looking for Buster. He's yelling to his mom, "He's not here." And his mom reassures him, "Don't worry, we'll find him, honey." Now, this is placed after Buster's capture. What's the impact of that timing?
This placement after Buster's capture is actually quite smart, I think. Strategically, showing Timmy's worry here has a powerful emotional impact. It reinforces Buster's motivation to return home, creates a parallel narrative of longing and concern.
Okay.
It also reminds the audience of the stakes beyond just Buster's immediate escape. There's someone missing him.
Right.
It adds depth to his ultimate goal of returning. It's a good emotional beat that grounds the adventure in a relatable, heartfelt connection.
Good point. Then, day 5, we see Mo's truck stop in front of the STA.
STA.
We quickly learn is animal control. Small brick building. Mo, with Buster on a collar and leash, takes him inside.
Okay. In the grand scheme of narrative theory, this is the establishment of the new setting, the hub of Buster's captivity.
Right.
For the protagonist, it's a classic unfamiliar territory where the true challenges of his adventure will begin. This setting immediately signifies his loss of freedom and the formal, institutionalized nature of his predicament. It's a stark contrast to the alleyway or his backyard, clearly moving him into the second act of his journey.
Inside the lobby, Mo interacts with Fran. She's an older lady at a cluttered desk. Mo's casual report is, "Fran, I've gotten us another troublemaker. This one was making a mess behind Presto Burger." Fran's response is purely procedural. "We'll tag him and put him in the holding cage overnight. And don't forget to fill out your paperwork. You always forget."
Haha, okay. This introduces bureaucratic elements into what is otherwise this wild animal adventure.
Yeah, it's funny.
It adds a touch of realism to the capture process, showing that even in this fantastical world, there are rules and regulations. It also serves to highlight Mo's character, somewhat disgruntled, forgetful employee, and Fran's role as the no-nonsense supervisor. It grounds the fantastical adventure in some relatable, albeit comedic, human interaction. It's an interesting choice for a first script to weave in this mundane administrative layer.
And the relationship is pretty humorous. Mo drumbles, mumbling, "You wrinkled old bit," before Fran cuts him off mid-word, forcing him to comply.
Nice.
He quickly changes his tune to "nothing" as he's closing the isolation room door.
That brief comedic exchange between Mo and Fran adds personality, a touch of lightheartedness, even in the grim context of Buster's captivity.
Yeah.
It provides a small, human-centric conflict that adds texture to the environment, making the STA feel more lived in than just a generic animal shelter. It's a moment where the writer clearly enjoys playing with character dynamics.
Mo then takes Buster to an isolation room, puts a tag on his collar, places him in a cage for the night. "You'll stay in here for the night. I'll see you in the morning." This really hammers home the stark reality of Buster's situation.
Yeah, this moment emphasizes the profound loss of freedom for Buster, marks the harsh consequences of his adventure. It's a vital beat in the narrative, allowing the audience to feel Buster's confinement and despair. It sets the stage for his yearning for escape and the eventual introduction of his ally, building the necessary emotional low point for the hero.
And as the door shuts, we hear Fran's faint yell in the background. "Did you do your paperwork yet?" That little detail adds a final touch of humor to Buster's grim situation, an almost absurd counterpoint to his despair. It's a strong example of how these small gags keep popping up, even in serious moments.
Consistency and the inconsistency, maybe.
Right. Okay, day 7. Buster is woken by the ringing of keys. His hopeful "Timmy, is that you?" is quickly dashed when he sees Mo.
Heartbreaking.
He's then taken to the holding room. On day 8, Mo puts him in a bottom cage, and Buster is clearly described as depressed. This cyclical nature of hope and despair must be a common narrative arc, right?
It absolutely is. This highlights that cycle of hope and despair in captivity, a common and effective narrative arc.
Yeah.
It grounds Buster's emotional state, makes his longing for home palpable. This depression also makes the eventual arrival of hope even more impactful. Underscoring the severity of his situation before introducing a solution, the writer is effectively setting up the darkest hour before the dawn here.
And the other dogs in the holding room, they don't offer much encouragement. They give this grim assessment: "No one has ever made it out of here without Mo walking them out."
Oof. High stakes.
This immediately sets extremely high stakes for any potential escape attempt. Almost makes it sound like a myth, an impossibility.
That line is crucial for establishing the seemingly insurmountable challenge ahead. It builds tension, emphasizes the difficulty of escape, making any future attempt feel truly heroic.
Right.
It also creates a shared sense of hopelessness among the captive animals, drawing Buster into their collective plight. Shows the writer's understanding of how to raise the stakes effectively.
But then, a new voice.
Just newbie.
Ah! Hope arrives.
Kilo the ferret appears, introduces himself. "Hi, I'm Kilo, and you look cramped in there. How about I help you out?"
What's the significance of introducing Kilo at this particular low point for Buster?
Well, a key observation here is the immediate establishment of Kilo.
Yeah.
Resourceful, independent, maybe a little mischievous.
Definitely mischievous.
He's a perfect foil and companion for the naive Buster, arriving at precisely the moment of despair. This highlights the power of introducing a key ally when your protagonist is at their lowest.
It immediately shifts the narrative from hopelessness to a glimmer of possibility. Kilo's directness and confidence are instantly appealing. It's a very smart move by the writer to introduce this critical piece of the puzzle right when Buster needs him most.
Buster, in his desperation, gives Kilo this rapid-fire explanation of how he got there,
Understandable.
to which Kilo calmly interjects, "Slow down, killer."
Perfect.
This demonstrates Kilo's more experienced, street-smart personality compared to Buster's wide-eyed innocence. Perfectly sets up their dynamic.
That quick exchange perfectly showcases their contrasting personalities, doesn't it? Buster's frantic inexperience versus Kilo's cool, collected demeanor.
Yeah.
It immediately sets up a dynamic where Kilo will likely be the brains and the planner of the duo, complementing Buster's more emotional, less worldly nature. It's efficient characterization through dialogue. The writer clearly has a good handle on establishing character through interaction here.
Kilo then gives Buster a direct challenge, pushes him to commit. He says, boy, you really don't want out. How about it? I can get back in my cage and you never get home. Or we can bust this joint.
Nice. Forces the choice.
This forces Buster to make an active decision to continue his adventure, rather than just wallowing in despair.
This is a critical moment. The ally doesn't just offer help, but demands commitment from the protagonist.
Right.
It solidifies Buster's motivation and moves him from passive despair to active participation in his own rescue. This type of direct challenge from a supporting character is an excellent way to propel the plot and strengthen the protagonist's resolve. It's a fundamental technique for engaging storytelling.
Buster, of course, immediately agrees. Oh, please get me out. I want to go home to Timmy.
Of course.
And then the ingenuity of Kilo kicks in. He pulls a hairpin from behind him and, incredibly, picks the lock on Buster's cage.
A hairpin. Classic. That's some serious skill for a ferret.
Right.
This highlights Kilo's cleverness and resourcefulness. Using a simple yet effective tool for escape, it firmly establishes Kilo's value to the duo. He's not just a companion, he's the key to their freedom.
Absolutely.
It's a clear visual demonstration of his unique skills. Immediately validates his earlier bravado, makes him an invaluable asset to Buster's journey. It also shows a writer's flair for creative problem-solving within the narrative.
Their teamwork then truly shines. Buster bends down so Kilo can get on his head.
Okay.
Kilo jumps up, grabs the lever doorknob on the back door, and pulls down with his body to open it, allowing them to escape. It's a great visual of their combined strengths.
This moment solidifies their partnership through action. It's a visual representation of how they complement each other, using their combined strengths to overcome an obstacle.
Yeah.
This teamwork is essential for establishing them as a functional duo ready to face the challenges of their journey home. And it's a well-executed plot point that progresses the story effectively.
But their escape isn't unnoticed. Mo discovers the open cages, immediately alerts Fran. Fran, we got us some escapees.
Oh, wow.
And he utters this determined vow. You won't get away. I'll hunt you down and bring you back.
Okay, the chase is on. This reestablishes Mo as the primary antagonist, now with a clear personal vendetta. His vow sets up the chase sequence and gives the audience a clear understanding of the immediate threat Buster and Kilo face. The stakes are raised, the hunt is officially on, giving the escape a tangible and persistent danger, which is crucial for building tension in the subsequent chapters.
Day 9. Buster and Kilo are making their wild escape into the city.
Freedom. Sort of.
They're running down the alley, darting into streetcars, honking, swerving. They run through a park, eventually stopping under a tree.
Yeah.
This immediately establishes the chaotic urban environment they're now navigating.
Yeah.
Very different from Buster's quiet backyard.
Yeah, the scene effectively plunges them into an unfamiliar and dangerous world, a stark contrast to Buster's protected backyard. The urban chaos, honking cars, busy streets, it emphasizes the very real dangers of their new freedom, provides immediate obstacles beyond just Mo. It's a quick, dynamic way to show the shift in their environment and escalate the challenges they face. A smart way to broaden the scope of their adventure.
Here's a moment that always gets me.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect example of a beginner writer's specific character touches.
Okay.
Buster, in his gratitude, thanks Kilo, calling him Weasel Buddy.
Uh-oh.
Kilo's response is immediate, angry. What the, could you call me? A weasel. I'm not a weasel, I'm a ferret. That's F-A-I-R-I-T, ferret. Got it.
Okay, that's specific, the spelling and everything.
Right.
This specific detail of Kilo's identity is incredibly telling. It's a humorous moment, reveals Kilo's pride, adds character depth, highlighting his distinctive personality.
Definitely.
While it's a lighthearted argument amidst a high-stakes escape, it also contributes to that inconsistent tone we've seen, injecting very specific, almost meta-humor into a moment of danger. It's a memorable running gag, but one that perhaps highlights the writer's desire to include every fun idea, even if it momentarily pulls focus from the main quest. It shows a strong voice, even if it's not always tonally consistent.
And speaking of returning characters,
Yeah.
guess who's back?
Oh no, let me guess. The Bloodhounds?
Not yet. The pigeons.
The pigeons from the opening.
The very same. Bomber 1 to Bomber 2, flying overhead. They mistake Kilo for the weasel that destroyed our nest and initiate a dive attack, dropping bird poop.
Bird poop bombers. Okay. This brings back another antagonist from the opening, doesn't it?
Yep.
This reintroduction of another set of quirky antagonists, pigeons. It exemplifies the overstuffing with too many characters or gag strap again.
Yeah.
It does. The story now juggles multiple distinct threats, some serious, some purely comedic. While it brings a sense of playful continuity, it also risks diluting the main narrative focus. It's a fun gag, but we're stacking antagonists rather quickly, showing a beginner's eagerness to keep the action coming from all directions.
Buster and Kilo naturally have to make a chaotic escape from this aerial bird poop attack. They run out of the park, cross the street, dart into an alley to hide behind a dumpster. It's a very fast-paced sequence.
This sequence provides another obstacle, adding to the dynamic nature of their escape. It showcases their resourcefulness in a chaotic environment. However, the comedic nature of the threat bird poop further blends the silly with the serious, which is a hallmark of the script's developing tone. It's a high-energy moment, but you start to wonder, how many different threats can they encounter before it feels a bit much?
And hiding behind that dumpster leads them right into...
Okay, end of the Bloodhounds.
Bingo. They bump into Spike, Sparky, and Shark again.
Third time's the charm. Or third encounter, anyway.
Spike delivers an ominous threat. This time you won't get away. This time we're going to turn you into worm food.
Okay. The recurring antagonists provide escalating challenges, which is a good narrative technique. However, it also highlights the challenge of pacing and structure in a first script. How many obstacles can be thrown at the protagonist before it feels repetitive or loses focus?
Good question.
While it brings back a known threat, the quick reintroduction of multiple villain groups suggests a writer still experimenting with how to build sustained tension without constantly introducing new elements.
Kilo, ever the brave one, responds heroically. Does martial arts moves.
They're martial arts.
Apparently. And challenges Spike. Bring it, fool! Me and my dog friend aren't scared of you. Meanwhile, Buster is hilariously whispering, please for Kilo to shut up.
That's great.
Kilo even gets angry at Buster during this intense standoff for calling him a weasel again.
Oh my gosh.
This dynamic is gold, but again, it's that tonal tightrope walk.
The dynamic between Kilo's bravado and Buster's caution is a strong point. It's comedic gold, absolutely. But again, it reinforces that inconsistent tone with humor injected directly into a dangerous situation. It's charming, but also shows the writer hasn't quite settled on whether the story is primarily a serious adventure with comedic beats or a comedy with adventurous elements. It's that uninhibited experimentation again.
Just as Kilo is about to charge Spike, bird poop falls.
The pigeons strike again.
The pigeons rain down poop on the bloodhounds, sending them running. The pigeons even taunt them. Pick on someone your own size.
Wow. Okay, so this is an unexpected turn of events. One antagonist indirectly helps the protagonist.
Yeah, pretty convenient.
That's a creative solution, maybe. But it also speaks to the sprawling nature of the narrative where multiple character threads intersect in often unpredictable ways. It's effective for getting rid of the bloodhounds, sure, but perhaps a bit convenient. And another example of a gag overriding a potentially more dramatic confrontation.
And Kilo's moment of triumph is short-lived. The pigeons hear his boast, realize he isn't the weasel.
Oh, right, the weasel confusion.
Leading to this confusing moment where Kilo has to clarify he's a ferret, not the nest-destroying weasel, and the pigeons apologize. It's all very fast and adds to the whirlwind of minor conflicts.
This quickly adds another layer of comedic misunderstanding. Highlights Kilo's ongoing battle for identity. It's a fun, quirky detail, but again, it's a small detour that momentarily pulls us away from the main goal of getting Buster home. It also shows a willingness to quickly resolve conflicts, even if it means piling on more humorous misunderstandings rather than letting a single conflict mature.
Immediately after the pigeon confusion, a rat in a candy wrapper cape emerges from a trash can.
A candy wrapper cape. Okay.
Introducing himself as Super Rat, the crime-fighting rat, and asking Kilo to be his sidekick. I mean, where do you even begin with that?
Wow. Okay. This is a prime example of overstuffing a script.
Definitely.
While the idea of a super rat is inherently fun and creative, these kinds of spontaneous ideas, not carefully integrated, can derail narrative focus and pacing, making the story feel disjointed rather than cohesive. The writer clearly has an abundance of ideas, which is a strength in itself, but integration is a learned skill. It's that early writer's impulse to throw everything against the wall to see what sticks without yet knowing what must stick for the story to work.
Buster and Kilo's reaction is perfect, though. They just brush off Super Rat and walk off laughing.
Yeah.
A very human response to the absurdity, which I think is quite relatable.
Yeah, their reaction grounds the moment in a way, helps the audience relate, even to the absurdity. It's a good comedic beat that acknowledges the outlandishness of the character without getting bogged down in him. It shows the writer using character reactions to manage the narrative density, even if the density itself is a challenge.
Meanwhile, Mo pulls up in his truck, smells them, again declares his intent to hunt them down.
Relentless Mo.
And just to rub salt in the wound, the pigeons, unknowingly, poop on his forehead as he slips on another bird dropping, leading to public laughter.
Oh, poor Mo. But also hilarious. This reinforces Mo as the relentless antagonist, keeping that threat alive. The comedic humiliation of Mo, linking back to the inconsistent tone, provides a recurring comedic beat that breaks up the tension. It's a way to keep the villain present without necessarily advancing the plot in every encounter, but rather emphasizing the comedic chaos of the world Buster and Kilo are moving through.
And in the background, Timmy appears, completely unaware of the chaos around him, putting up a lost dog poster.
Ah, the pathos.
It's a moment of pathos, exactly. Timmy's heartfelt search running parallel to Buster's wild, chaotic adventure.
That parallel narrative adds significant emotional weight. It reminds the audience of the underlying reason for Buster's journey home, connecting his wild adventures back to the tender bond he shares with Timmy. It's a poignant touch that grounds the escalating absurdity in a genuine emotional core, shows a good instinct for emotional counterpoint from the writer.
Okay, final stretches. Buster and Kilo continue their journey in the rain. They find shelter. Buster ends up in a box that, rather comically, collapses on him.
Of course it does.
While Kilo takes refuge in a small cooler, it's a new environmental challenge for them.
The element of environmental hardship, the rain, adds another layer of challenge and realism, sort of, to their journey, emphasizing the physical toll of their escape.
Right.
Even in a whimsical adventure, these moments of struggle ground the characters and raise the stakes, adding to their journey's arduousness.
After the rain, they encounter Tomcat, who pops up from a trash can, seeing Kilo as a little snack.
Another antagonist.
Yep. Kilo's humorous attempt to look unappetizing by showing his ribs only prompts Tomcat to declare he eats bones too. It's another distinct mini-conflict with another new character.
Okay, this is yet another distinct mini-conflict, a classic cartoon trope. Introduces another new character, another brief threat. Again, this points to the overstuffing tendency, where many small, fun ideas are included, contributing to the narrative density without always advancing the main plot significantly. The writer is constantly seeking new ways to create engagement, even if it means piling on more and more characters.
But here's a great moment of growth for Buster. He barks and bares his teeth protectively at Tomcat, scaring him away. A clear sign of Buster's developing courage and loyalty to his new friend. This is a real payoff for his journey.
Oh, that's excellent. This is an important character beat for Buster. He moves from being the naive house dog to a protector, showcasing his growth and the strength of his bond with Kilo.
Yeah.
It's a moment that validates his journey, proves he's more than just a creature looking for excitement. He's capable of courage and friendship. It's a well-earned moment of character development that resonates.
Finally, Buster recognizes his neighborhood.
Oh.
Then his actual house, Kilo, described as pooped, expresses relief.
Ah, homestretch.
It's the emotional payoff of their long journey, the primary goal of the protagonist almost within reach. A strong moment of return.
This moment provides the much-anticipated emotional payoff. It's the culmination of Buster's main quest, signifies the approaching resolution of his personal journey. The exhaustion of Kilo also reinforces the arduousness of their travels, making the reunion even more earned, giving the audience that sense of impending satisfaction.
Timmy rushes out, hugging Buster. A really heartfelt reunion that truly hits home.
Nice.
But the peace is short-lived.
Of course not. Let me guess.
The bloodhounds appear again.
Called it. For the final showdown.
Seems like it. Buster and Kilo instinctively get in front of Timmy to protect him.
Okay, good. The return of the recurring antagonist for a final face-off provides a sense of closure to that particular threat, allows Buster to directly confront them in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
It also shows his continued growth, protecting his owner. However, their sudden reappearance, for the third time, does again speak to the repetitive nature of obstacles in a first script, maybe indicating a limited pool of antagonists or a desire to ensure every threat is cleanly dealt with.
But before the bloodhounds can do anything, Mo arrives.
Mo to the rescue, or...
He scoops up the bloodhounds with his net, declaring, "Gotcha! I've been looking for you troublemakers." He loads them into his truck.
Wow. Okay. That's a very efficient way to tie up a few loose ends.
Right.
This provides an efficient, almost too neat resolution for multiple antagonists. Mo, the bloodhounds. It's a very quick way to clear the board, perhaps demonstrating a desire for a clean, conclusive ending where all the bad guys are neatly dispatched, reflecting a beginner's drive for a satisfying, unambiguous conclusion.
And the caterpillar
The caterpillar's back?
makes a final appearance, climbs on Mo's truck bumper and declares busted as Mo drives off.
Oh my goodness. Busted.
This brings a whimsical closure to that specific quirky side character.
It's a charming, almost signature detail for this script, isn't it? To bring back the seemingly irrelevant caterpillar.
Totally.
While it contributes to the overstuffing trap, its final line and placement give it a sense of whimsical closure, reinforcing the script's unique, inconsistent tone. It's a small, memorable detail that showcases the writer's distinct voice, even if it's not strictly necessary to the main plot.
Now for the resolution. The camera shows Buster laying half out of his doghouse.
Yeah.
But now there's a second story added to the
A
house.
second story on the doghouse.
Yep. Kilo emerges on the balcony, declares, "Now this is the life," and does a flip off the rail, diving into Buster's dog bowl.
Okay, a key observation here is this playful, almost fantastical resolution. It's a charming way to show the new, improved life for Buster and his adventurous companion, signifying a truly happy ever after.
Yeah.
This reflects a beginner's enthusiasm for a deeply satisfying, if whimsical, ending, where even the doghouse gets an upgrade, signifying not just Buster's return, but an improved, more exciting life. It's pure wish fulfillment, beautifully rendered.
And then the ultimate meta ending.
There's more.
The camera follows a butterfly, maybe the same one, off over Timmy's house, down the street, past kids playing. A ball flies up, hits the camera, knocking it to the ground.
It's the camera.
Yeah. The little girl walks over, notices the camera, bends to look into it with a confused look. The screen fades to credits.
Ow. That's bold. A complete breaking of the fourth wall. Completely.
This raises an important question. What's the impact of this complete breaking of the fourth wall at the very end? For a first script, this is highly unconventional. Ambitious?
Totally.
Is it brilliant? Or does it detract from the story, pulling you out of the world completely? It certainly speaks to the uninhibited creativity of a first-time writer, not bound by established conventions or worried about realism.
Right.
It's pure, unbridled imagination, a bold, almost defiant artistic statement that refuses to simply end the story conventionally. It echoes that young and naive comment you mentioned, unbound by rules, purely expressive.
So let's talk about those common first script traps that Buster and Kilo illustrate so beautifully.
Okay.
First, there's the overstuffing. Too many characters, too many gags.
Definitely saw that.
Think about it. Aliens, Spaceman, the birds, the bloodhounds multiple times, Super Rat, Tomcat, the caterpillar.
The list goes on.
Each one is a fun, creative idea on its own, but together they create this really dense, sprawling narrative that can feel a bit overwhelming. Yeah, and this overstuffing isn't just, a lack of discipline. It's often that beautiful, unbridled enthusiasm we talked about.
Right.
A first-time writer is so bursting with ideas, oh, this is funny, this is cool, this is dramatic, that they haven't yet learned the art of killing your darlings. Every spark feels essential. The idea of cutting something that brings them joy can feel alien. It's a testament to pure creative energy, but also a crucial early lesson in refinement.
Yeah.
The challenge, and it's a learned skill, is to prioritize, streamline, integrate these ideas for maximum impact. Ensure each character or gag truly serves the central story rather than just existing for its own sake. It's like a chef trying to put every single ingredient they love into one dish.
Then there's the inconsistent tone, those rapid shifts between silly and serious.
The tonal whiplash.
We go from a cosmic opening and talking caterpillars to desperate captures and gang threats, then right back to slapstick humor. The quick shifts between earnest emotion and outright cartoonish moments can be jarring.
And exploring how to maintain a consistent tone is definitely a learned skill. A coherent tone helps the audience invest emotionally in the story.
Right.
When the tone jumps too quickly, it can be hard for the audience to know how to feel or to take the stakes seriously. Is this a comedy, an adventure, a drama? Buster and Kilo tries to be all three, which is ambitious, but also a challenge for a reader or viewer.
Yeah.
This rapid shift, cosmic grandeur to slapstick bird poop, might feel disjointed, but it also reflects a writer experimenting with their voice. They're trying on different hats, seeing what fits, what resonates, often before they've settled on the core emotional contract they want to make with the audience.
Another big one. Struggling with pacing and structure.
Oh, yeah.
The rapid fire of events, capture, escape, multiple confrontations without much breathing room, the skipped escape, The fast-paced, almost episodic encounters with various villains, it's a sprint that can leave you breathless.
First scripts often rush, or they linger in unexpected places. This isn't just about not knowing how to pace, but often it's about not yet understanding the audience's need for emotional processing time.
That's a great point.
The writer is so eager to get to the next exciting idea that they might skip crucial moments of character development or audience reflection. The importance of understanding story beats, how to build tension, how to release it, when to slow down for character moments, when to speed up for action. It's critical. And often, it's learned through trial and error, just like we see here.
And finally, dialogue that doesn't always serve the story. Buster's internal monologues giving exposition, Kilo's passionate ferret correction, Super Rat's elaborate self-introduction. While often funny, sometimes the dialogue tells us things we could see or gets caught up in details that divert from the main plot. What do you think is going on there for a beginner writer?
This highlights how dialogue ideally should reveal character and advance the plot efficiently.
Yeah.
While these examples are entertaining, they sometimes lean more towards stating facts or indulging in character quirks rather than driving the narrative forward or subtly deepening our understanding. It's about finding that balance where dialogue feels natural but also purposeful.
Yeah.
For a beginner, there's often an impulse to tell rather than show, and to give voice to every amusing character idea they have, even if it's more for their own enjoyment than the narrative's forward momentum.
Okay, now, despite all these traps,
Yes?
Buster and Kilo absolutely overflows with positives.
Yes.
It's a script brimming with ambition and creativity. The sheer scope of that opening, the unique and memorable characters like Kilo, Super Rat, even the Caterpillar.
Super Rat was something else.
And the imaginative scenario, it's all there on the page. You feel the energy.
A key observation here is that the heart of the story remains undeniably strong. Buster's yearning for adventure, his unwavering loyalty to Timmy, and the budding friendship with Kilo. These are the core emotional elements. They give the script its emotional grounding and make us root for the characters despite the chaos around them. That emotional core is a huge win. Shows true storytelling instincts.
And perhaps the biggest win of all is the simple fact that Jason Wright finished it.
Crucial.
Completing a script, especially a first one, is a monumental achievement in itself. It's easy to start, but seeing it through to the end, that takes dedication. And often, it's the hardest part of any creative endeavor.
Absolutely. Finishing is often the hardest part, and it's perhaps the biggest win for any aspiring writer. It proves not just dedication, but the ability to take an idea, develop it, see it through to a conclusion, regardless of its initial perfection.
Yeah.
It demonstrates a commitment to the craft and the learning process, which is the foundation for all future work.
From my own experience writing, a script like this really teaches you the importance of focus. It shows you the need to pick your characters carefully, integrate them, really streamline your ideas so every element serves the main story. It's a powerful lesson in self-editing and knowing what to keep and what to cut, no matter how much you love it.
And that connects directly to the iterative nature of creativity.
Right.
First drafts are for getting all those wild, uninhibited ideas down. Subsequent drafts are for refining, structuring, honing. This process is how every writer improves. Learning to shape that raw creativity into something more polished and impactful. It's a journey from enthusiastic amateur to thoughtful craftsman, and Buster and Kilo beautifully captures that initial raw stage.
So to you, our listener, if you're embarking on your own creative journey, don't give up.
Please don't.
Every great writer, every great artist has a first clunky script or painting or song in their drawer somewhere. It's not about achieving perfection right out of the gate. It's about the act of creating, about learning, about getting that initial vision out there. That first attempt is a necessary step, a foundation for everything that comes next. Embrace the messiness, celebrate the ambition, and most importantly, just finish it.
Well said.
Okay, let's take a quick moment here.
This deep dive is brought to you by No One Can Hear the War, available now at www.lulu.com/spotlight/Jason Wright Writes.
It's a raw, emotionally charged poetry collection. For anyone who's ever smiled through pain, maybe overthought a simple text, or felt invisible in a crowded room. It's written in this really repeatable, honest format. In English, we say. But in poetry, we say. And these poems explore anxiety, grief, trauma, and the resilience it takes to just keep going.
This book won't tell you everything will be okay. It's not that kind of book. But it will remind you that you're not the only one who feels this way. And sometimes, honestly, that's enough. Find No One Can Hear the War at www.lulu.com/spotlight/JasonWrightWright.
Okay, so we've journeyed through Buster and Kilo. We've acknowledged its charming flaws, definitely, but also its undeniable creative spark.
Absolutely.
These early attempts, messy as they might be, are truly crucial stepping stones for any creator. A testament to what's possible when imagination just takes flight.
My final piece of advice, I think, for any listener embarking on their first creative project is this. Embrace the messiness.
Yeah.
Celebrate the ambition, even if it feels a bit sprawling at first. And prioritize completion over initial perfection. The act of creation itself is the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Just get it done.
Great advice. And remember, every expert started as a beginner. The journey of learning, refining, and daring to put your vision out there, well, it never truly ends.
Never.
So perhaps the true treasure in any first creative work isn't just the story it tells, but the story of its own making. A raw, unedited testament to pure, unbridled imagination before the rules set in. What first clunky pancake have you made that holds a surprising brilliance just waiting to be rediscovered?